Welcome, beautiful, to the Creating Change podcast with Emma Bradford. Creating change to fall back in love with ourselves and life. Each episode, I'll be offering insightful stories, concepts, and practical takeaways to inspire your day, reconnecting to the authentic essence within. Are you ready, lovely, to embrace yourself even more and awaken to the magic life has to offer? Let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome to Creating Change with Emma Bradford. Thank you so much for joining me. It's wonderful to have you here. Now, about 3 years ago, I was at the end of my Afro-Ying training. So Afro-Ying, those of you who don't know, there's a wonderful teacher based in Barcelona, Ana Carrera, and she teaches all about the body, the movements, and how to really connect to the body and recognize our divinity through the body. She's amazing. And I've done 2 trainings with her. And at the end of the first training, I was talking with a friend who was on the training. We had been paired up together for a particular exercise. And we were talking about how at the end of the day, often the mind is listing all the things. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, I haven't done that. Oh, I should have done that. All the to-do list, all the things that the mind thinks that we should get done or that we have to get done. And it often brings a lot of criticism about all the shoulds and the have-tos and the musts. And we were noticing that this was popping up sometimes at the end of the day for both of us. And I suggested to her, why don't we start a gratitude practice? Why don't we start a practice and we hold each other accountable? So that's exactly what we did. We did that. We started through messages every day. We'll send each other a WhatsApp message. And we would simply just write down one thing that we're grateful for. So today I'm grateful for whatever it is. So many days that was something to do with my surroundings or something I'm appreciative of my physical body and what I'm able to do thanks to my physical body, or the people around me, or the things I get to experience. There are so many things that we can be grateful for. So rather than focusing on all the things that we're lacking, all the things that we should do, must do, have to do according to the mind, and the mind is often connected to this sense of fear or scarcity or lack, and switching that focus and focusing on the gifts that are already present, the things that we are grateful for, the things in the day that we feel that we have overcome or accomplished or even experienced, simply just being in the being, the present moment, and allowing ourselves to have that. So we started doing this and sending each other messages backwards and forwards every single day. Some days we forgot and then we would catch up, though it was pretty regular and consistent, and it still is. 3 years later, we've been doing this for 3 years, my friend and I, and we hold each other accountable. I have a reminder on my phone that pops up every evening, and it reminds me to connect to what I'm grateful for if ever I'm in a moment where I'm busy with friends or family, or I forget. Then I know later on that evening, just before going to bed, that I can just focus on what I'm grateful for. And it's been a wonderful journey to go through this. In the beginning, I noticed that I was listing all the usual things, and some days it was a little bit challenging to find things that I was grateful for, especially when you're going through difficult times. It can be a little difficult to tap into that gratitude because you're just focused on what's going wrong, on the problem, on the challenges, on the difficulties, on the heavier emotions. Though this was a beautiful practice to start doing and to have that accountability with a friend, because with practice and each day repeating this, it becomes easier and easier and easier. This is the thing, whenever we repeat something and we repeat it, it becomes an ingrained habit. So this is often why you may notice in terms of your mobile phone or certain habits, like for example, when you move an app on your mobile phone, perhaps you always have one particular app in one place. And if you move it, then just notice throughout the next couple of days where your fingers go. Your fingers will always automatically go to where it used to be, because that neural pathway has been formed through the repetition that you've had over a period of time. I also noticed this when I moved house, and my hands would always go to one particular side of the kitchen to look for particular things. And then I realized I'm in a new house. It's in a different place this time. It's because the mind works on what we've experienced in the past. And this is why looking at our past and reframing it, especially to do with our beliefs, is so important to then change our current experience. And if we want to change habits, then it's important to really notice, like, what neural pathways am I reinforcing? Like, what habits am I reinforcing? Do I want to continue those, or do I want to change things up? And we can interrupt those patterns, like I mentioned about moving the apps on different places on your phone, or starting a new habit and having some kind of accountability there, having some support system. We can absolutely create a gratitude practice for ourselves, by ourselves. Though, isn't it so much easier to have that support? Isn't it a lot more fun to go through this with a friend or a loved one? Not only are you sharing what you're grateful for, you're also receiving the gratitude that your friend is grateful for and hearing what they're grateful for in their life, which is a beautiful thing, because then you suddenly realize, oh yes, I'm also grateful for that too, if you've experienced something similar that day. And there have also been studies that have shown that when we connect to observing what other people are doing and how people are being kind and expressing gratitude to each other, even if we're simply just in the observational role, that can also help us boost this sense of gratitude within also, and it also boosts our well-being. This is wonderful to know. So not only can we connect to what we're grateful for about ourselves or our personal life, we can also observe other people expressing gratitude and other people being kind to each other, and connecting to that and being grateful for that gives us a wonderful boost too. For example, seeing someone help someone in need in the street and being grateful to witness that, see that, and that that person was able to offer support helps us connect to this incredible energy of gratitude. There are so many ways to go about this. Now, there are a couple of things that are really important in terms of making gratitude practices work. And the whole point of doing gratitude practices is to really help us shift our emotional state, to really help us lift our vibration and be in a place of feeling more happy, fulfilled, grateful in our lives. And when we're feeling that, it's like we become a magnet. We attract even more of that vibration, like attracts like. So the more we're appreciative of all these wonderful things in our life, the more we'll notice those things, and the more we'll attract those wonderful experiences into our life. And to really make these work, it's important to go into the details. So you may have heard about people listing 5 things that they're grateful for, 10 things they're grateful for, 20 things they're grateful for, and listing it all down. By all means, do that if that resonates for you. What I have found useful is simply just sticking to one thing a day, and going into the detail. Because it's by going through the details, going into the details of that, where we connect to the feeling. So it's very different to list a whole list of things that we're grateful for, like I'm grateful for my hands, I'm grateful for the air that I breathe, I'm grateful for the sunshine, compared to I'm so grateful for all the things that I can do and experience thanks to my hands. I'm so grateful for this wonderful fresh air that I can breathe and fill my lungs with oxygen. I'm so grateful for the warm sunshine on my skin. So by adding a little bit more detail to that, we're able to really connect to that feeling of gratitude. And that's what it's all about. Connecting to the feeling, because when we're connecting to the feeling, it's as if we're lighting up every single cell in our body and vibrating with that energy of gratitude. We're really igniting that within ourselves, becoming that beacon of gratitude in life. And the more we do that, the more we'll recognize and the more appreciative we'll become of all these little big things in life. I call them the little big things. All these little things that really are the big things, like the sunshine, like the bird song, like a hug with a loved one, like listening to your favorite song and dancing. All of these things are what give us fuel. They give us fuel to navigate those challenging times. They give us inspiration. They add this spark of joy into our daily life. So take a moment now just to notice what you see, what you hear, what you feel around you. What's in your present surroundings? What are you grateful for right now? What are you appreciative of? Start noticing that. And if you want to take that further, find a gratitude buddy, find a friend that wants to go on this journey with you. A friend, a family member, a loved one. I'm sure there are many people. And if not, if you're struggling to find someone and you want someone, just send me an email, info@emmabradford.net. I can connect you with some meetup members, and I'm sure that there'll be someone that will want to join this journey with you. It's such a wonderful journey to create this gratitude practice, really having this regular daily practice of what magic is already present, what gifts are already present, what is life offering to me right now, what gifts is life presenting right now. They're always there. It's just up to us to open up our eyes and see through the limitations of the mind, see through the murkiness and the darkness of any heavy emotions, to see through that, not to bypass, not to ignore it, though to really realize that in this human experience of polarities, there's always light. There are always gifts. There are always wonderful things that we can be grateful for, even in the most challenging of times. And with gratitude, sometimes there can be resistance in connecting to gratitude. And this can be based on many different reasons. One of the most common reasons is if, when we were younger, if there was some shame that was coming up around what we have and what other people may not have, and comparing us. Have you ever heard the phrase, "Oh, you should be grateful because look at those starving kids in Africa, they don't have any food on their plates," is a very common phrase that you might hear when parents are trying to get their kids to eat their food. So in those moments, if we hear that repeatedly, sometimes there can be this feeling of shame connected to the act of being grateful for something. And that might be why we resist that, if there's resistance in carrying out gratitude practices. Now, moving through that and using accountability and having support around can help to recreate a new story and really move through that and to start associating more uplifting emotional states with gratitude, and start realizing that when we connect to gratitude, we're helping to really boost our well-being. There are so many studies on gratitude and how gratitude can help boost our well-being, boost our immunity, boost our sleep, boost so many things on so many different levels. And this is why it's so important, recognizing that and just focusing on what's the gift, what's the opportunity. Gratitude is not about ignoring the negative. It's not about bypassing emotions. It's not about shaming, blaming, judging. That's not gratitude. Gratitude is about connecting to what is the gift right here. Yes, there may be challenges. Yes, there may be emotions. Yes, other people may have things harder than us. And what can we be grateful for? What can we still connect to? How can we celebrate this moment and make the most of it and really tap into gratitude? So notice what you're grateful for. Connect to the details and notice how you start feeling different as you do that. I'll leave that there. Thank you so much for listening, and do share this with a loved one if you feel that they could benefit from this too. Send them this episode and perhaps you can start a gratitude practice together, sending each other messages when you feel like. I have some students that they do this via audio so they can actually use their voice and connect to their voice and really connect to all the details of what they're grateful for. There's so much in life. There are so many gifts right here, right now. I wonder, what is life gifting you right now? Thank you so much for listening to this episode, beautiful. You're amazing. All resources and links can be found on my website, www.emmabradford.net. Link is in the show description. Do come and join my community and share your takeaways from this episode. I'd really love to hear. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I wonder, what magic will you experience in life today?